Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the anatomy of a romantic relationship. When you want to buy a house or rent a house or drive a car, right? No matter what, but when you are part of a system and using a system, if you are familiar with different parts of it, there's a more chance that if something goes wrong, you can fix that, you can make it better, you can make improvements in that system, right? So let's say if you are driving the car and suddenly the car stops, if you have a little bit of information about how that car works, if it has engine or if it's an electronic car, whatever, if you have some information about that, there's more chance that you can make the car better, you can fix it, you can improve the whole situation. Anatomy of a romantic relationship is about the structure and different parts of a romantic relationship, and what I'm talking about here is based on Gottman method. Dr. Gottman's, Julie and John Gottman, they have done this research over the past 40 years, on thousands of couples. They have this love map and they do all these different kind of studies. And what I'm about to say is based on 40 years of research, Gottman. So one way of looking at a romantic relationship is to kind of like consider and imagine a house. And this house has 3 different main parts or levels and then 2 main pillars. So the first level or the first part of the structure or the anatomy of this house or romantic relationship is actually what we call the friendship system. So friendship system is about how well you know your partner, their dreams, their values, their goals, all these different things. How often you actually talk about those things. How often you express how much you appreciate them, right? And how much you try to move towards them when they try and they attempt for connection with you, right? So that is the whole friendship system. And then if your friendship system is strong enough, you have positive perspective in your relationship, meaning you can see all the negative things in your relationship, but because the atmosphere is positive, you can pass them. If you have the negative perspective in your relationship, if your friendship system is not strong enough, then even like when you have all the positive things in your relationship, you can see them and then you pass them because the atmosphere is negative. And part of this anatomy or structure of a romantic relationship is conflict management. Based on Dr. Gottman's research, 2/3 of the problems in a relationship are perpetual, meaning they're not going anywhere. They are there in your relationship forever, right? Because you are 2 or more than 2 different people. You have different values, you have different cultures, you have different ways of looking at world, right? All those different reasons. So what should you do? That means if you are in this gridlock of, this is the problem, you are the problem, this is about you, you are wrong, I'm right. If you're in that gridlock, you need to know how you can have a dialogue in your relationship, how you can have a good conversation, good communication, how you can listen, how you can yield, right? And more importantly, how you can compromise instead of solving problems. There's a huge difference between solving a problem and compromising around the problem. So here's an example. If I'm hungry right now and I just crave for pizza, solving a problem, meaning I need to pause this video, recording the video, and I need to just have pizza right now. That is solving my problem. Compromising problem is getting a part of what you want, meaning in this situation, if I'm craving for pizza, I just realized that I'm recording this video, so I cannot have the pizza right now. So I tell myself, okay, be patient. After, you're done with this video, you can go and get one. That is, partially compromising because I'm waiting, right? The other scenario is that I go for pizza and then the pizza place is closed or whatever, so I need to wait for tomorrow. I need to have hamburger instead of pizza this time, right? All those different things are compromising instead of solving a problem. In other words, in solving a problem, you get what you want. In compromising around or about a problem, you get part of what you want. That is why when you compromise, you are not super happy, but it's much better than being unhappy all the time. The third part of the anatomy of a romantic relationship is what we call shared meaning. So shared meaning is about the time that you sit down with your partner or partners and you talk about the things that you want to do together, the rituals or the different hobbies or activities that you want to actually be together with when you're doing those things, or have fun, or spending time together. All those different things, they are part of shared meaning. Actually, this part of the anatomy comes from the work of Dr. Viktor Frankl. Dr. Viktor Frankl wrote this book, Man's Search for Meaning, and he talks about his own experience when he was in Nazi camps back in the Second World War, and he saw that people who stayed alive were not necessarily the strongest people, like physically. They were the people who had some sort of vision for their life. And based on his work and the importance of meaning in their life, we realize that if that is actually something that is important for human beings, individuals, that is also something that is important for us in relationships. The last two parts of this anatomy, or anatomy of a romantic relationship, include trust and commitment. Based on Gottman method, those are the pillars of the sound relationship house. The only thing that I want to say about trust and commitment is sometimes when we hear those words, we feel like there is a universal definition about trust and commitment. So based on all the messages that we got from society, families, growing up, we feel like, okay, this is what trust looks like, or this is what commitment looks like. But it's very more complicated than that, right? Especially at this time of the history. So for some people, having the password of Facebook, Instagram, all those different things, that is part of the trust. So if I trust you, or if you trust me, I can have your password. And for some people, that is privacy, that is boundary. And based on your values, beliefs, spirituality, religion, all these different factors, gender, society, actually have different definitions of trust and commitment. So when I work with couples, I highly encourage them to sit down and have a conversation about their definition of trust and commitment. Because if you don't have that conversation, then there are all these different expectations out there, and you are not talking about them, the other person to read your mind, and then it just doesn't work. Okay, now you know the anatomy of a romantic relationship. And why is that important? Again, because when you have information, when you have knowledge, you have the power. You have the power and agency to change your narrative, to change the system, to change the broken patterns, right? So if you like this video and you want to hear more about these things, please subscribe my channel and stay tuned. Thank you.